Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and poetry enthusiasts, welcome to the International Poet Conference, a gathering of eloquence and cultural richness created by Sahitya Sanshad UK. Chair of UK Sahitya Sanshad, Syed Ahmed Shanu.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. I'm Mr. Ahmed Syed Shanur. I know it's long name, you can call me Shanur. Living in Leeds nearly 30 years. I'm honored and privileged to extend a warm welcome to you, every one of you in here. Today, we're gathering here from different cities, united by our shared love and passion for poetry. Diverse cultures, languages, and backgrounds have come together to exchange ideas. Fifth, online platform and digital presence. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to you all. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey of poetic exploration. Let us make this conference unforgettable experiences. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair, Syed Ahmed Shanur. মঞ্চে আসছেন সিতারা খান, very powerful British Pakistani poet. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great privilege and honor to be here. I would like to present two poems. The first one is called Cruise Missiles and Cluster Bombs, which was written at the time of the bombing of Afghanistan. And those of you who are as old as I am, you remember the rationale for bombing Afghanistan was that we were going to liberate the women, and there was nothing there anyway, so it was fine for us to bomb Afghanistan.
I'd like to call a senior lecturer of English literature at the University of Dhaka, my dear friend Nishat Afzal.
Thank you, Reza Bhai, for inviting me here. I'm going to recite two poems. Both of the poems, I love them very much. So I hope they would resonate with you as much as they do with me. The first one is The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. Let's embark on a poetic journey capturing the essence of solitude and nature. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind, remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember, you are all people, and all people are you. Remember, you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember, all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember, language comes from this. Remember, the dance language is, that life is. Remember. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear friend Nishat Afzal. Now, I would like to call on the stage a versatile poet, writer, and film critic. Also director of Shoulder. My dear friend T.M. Ahmed Kaisar.
I'm pretty much convinced that a poet and a wonderful friend, Syed Anwar Raja, has been doing a great job in anchoring this event. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Syed Anwar Raja. And then again, two wonderful poets, and then they are related to each other as brother-in-law. Beautiful hearts, beautiful poets. The two brothers actually would like to offer their hearts, and I'm sure you all are convinced by the hospitality they did, and also they would like to revolutionize the literature scene of Leeds by promoting more internationalism of ours. So thank you, and also I would like to pay my gratitude to two friends who came from Manchester, Shoma Ghosh, the founder trustee of a wonderful organization that has been developing for the last 3 years, UKBC, United Kingdom Bengali Convention. She's an acclaimed fictionist, a theatre activist. I'm looking forward to witness your performance as well. And a friend, Nishat Abzar, who just performed. And I would like to tell you, if you like the fish, is it chop or kebab? Absolutely delicious kebab you made for all of us, Nishat. And a very powerful spoken word artist. The former lecturer of English literature of Dhaka University. And thank you very much for your beautiful contribution, and look forward to listening to all of you. Thank you.
আবৃত্তি শিল্পী ম্যানচেস্টার থেকে আসছেন মিতুল ইফাত আপা, অনেক দূর থেকে আসছেন। তো অবশ্যই আমি এখন মঞ্চে আবৃত্তি করার জন্য আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি মিতুল ইফাত আপাকে। ধন্যবাদ।
হ্যালো এভরিওয়ান, আসসালামু আলাইকুম সবাইকে। আমি বাংলায় বলছি, চেষ্টা করছি একটি বাংলায় কবিতা আবৃত্তি করার জন্য। তার আগে আমি ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি আমাকে এখানে আমন্ত্রণ করার জন্য রেজা ভাইকে এবং ইউকে সাহিত্য সংসদ যারা অর্গানাইজার, তাদের সবাইকে আমি অনেক অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। শুরু করছি, ঠিক আছে? তাহলে আমি আর দেরি না করে পড়ছি একটি বাংলা কবিতা। কবিতার নাম হচ্ছে বছর চারেক পর, লিখেছেন সৃজা ঘোষ। দেখা হলো বছর চারেক পর, তুইও এখন অন্য কারোর পর, অন্য কারোর ঘর। এখন অনেক হালকা রঙের শার্ট, ঠোঁটের নিচের চুম্বকটাও নেই। বছর চারেক পর, তুইও এখন আমার একার ঘর, আমার একার বর। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
ধন্যবাদ ইরফান। ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি মাই ডিয়ার লাভলি ব্রাদার হাসানকে, অল দ্য ওয়ে ম্যানচেস্টার থেকে আসার জন্য আমি তাকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। অত্যন্ত ভালো মনের মানুষ, এক্সেলেন্ট হিউম্যান বিং, আমার ছোট ভাই। সো অ্যান্ড এখন যাকে মঞ্চে রাখছি, ব্রিটিশ বাঙালি রাইটার অ্যান্ড এডিটর অফ পূর্ব পশ্চিম, শ্রদ্ধেয় সোমা ঘোষকে।
Thank you very much, Reza Bhai, Kaishal Bhai, for this invite. I will recite one of my poem and a fiction, Sorry, I am a Bengali writer, so I will read it in English. I am requesting my beloved, beautiful, talented sister, Sri Ganguly. One of my poem, please. Can you please interpret this for our audience? I hope I can do justice to this absolutely beautiful poem. I will read one stanza and then বিকেলের ডায়েরি The Diary of Twilight. সবুজের বনজ দিনলিপি পার হয়ে এসে দিক চক্রবাল প্রতিবার কিছু কথা রেখে যায়. Every time I look at the horizon and its colors, the horizon talks to me. পাতা ঝরার সমীক্ষা শেষ, এখন বিকেল, কেউ জানান দেয়. The leaves have fallen in the evening light. Someone tells me that. এভাবে প্রতিবার হলুদ হতে থাকা অরণ্যের দেহ জুড়ে বিগত কত শতাব্দীর লালসা. Centuries and centuries of lust, love and passion hidden in these yellowing autumn leaves. ভুলে যাওয়া, ফেলে আসা পথ গড়িয়ে কামার তো অনুভূতি ছেড়য়. কোনো মানে হয় পর্দা উঠছে, পাশের বাড়ির কে কোথায় দেখে, নিশাটা মনে হচ্ছে আর নেই, মাথাটা এখনো নির্ভার. পাছে চিরকার ঘুম ভাঙিয়ে কোনো মতে কফনটাকে পেরিয়ে জোড়া খাটের কোল ঘেঁষে শুলাম, দেয়ালের দিকে মুখ. জানলার পর্দাটা চোর হাওয়ায় উড়ে গেল. বাঁশি মালা সমেত ঝুলন্ত আমার হাসি মুখখানা মরমর আওয়াজে নড়ে উঠল.
অসাধারণ, অসাধারণ. My dear friend, the sensory poet and theatre activities, Amy Nelson Smith. Amy Nelson Smith.
এর ফাঁকে দিয়ে আমি ওয়েলকাম জানাতে চাই আমার অনেক শ্রদ্ধাভাজন ভাই এবং খুবই সুন্দর মনের মানুষ who came from Leeds other side. Welcome Mr. Shafiq and Mushfiq Rahim, Professor, Leeds University. Welcome, brother. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you to Ahmed, which I call him and no one does. They're like, who's that? For inviting me to read. I've come all the way from London yesterday, just as well as yesterday, not today, because of the snow. And I will crack on. I've got 5 poems for you. My first 3 are from my collection, which is Dark Matter. My dad's a scientist, so I've got a lot of science in my note. My little computer one is a cleaner land than the one before. The soundless keys pad out our thoughts in the simplicity of silence, but still not as perfect as the words straight from our mouths. Thank you.
I'd like to call a prominent poet from University of Leeds, Dr. Adam Strickson. Dr. Adam Strickson.
Thank you, Dhunabad. It's a great pleasure to be here and to hear Bengali and to hear English poetry. I have been to Bangladesh 3 times working in Bangladesh and Chittagong and Sylhet, but not for a long time. But I thought, since I knew it was going to be Bengali poetry and English poetry, I should read a poem from, I think, 20 years ago, published in my first collection in 2005, An Indian Rug Surprised by Snow, when I was working with Chol Theatre in Chittagong, in the village of Patenga, fishing village, and at that time the fishing village was very much under threat from the port development in Chittagong. I used to be able to speak Bangla a bit better than I can now. It's been neglected. Spent too much time in Leeds and China, I think. Anyway, I'm going to read this poem, which is one of 2 poems I'm going to read, so one set in Bangladesh and one in Leeds. They know your nighttime haunts, and in the early hours they follow you, kick you gently out of the doorway. They drag you across the shiny sets, they piss on you against the wind, and toe-tip pure blackness into the air. Later that same day we post our letters of resistance. We are not yet married. 11th of the 1st, 23. There are warnings of gales. The sets they dragged you across are overgrown with green moss. These days we email the letters. Please make climate refugees welcome. Do not execute the young women who take off their headscarves.
আমি এখন একটু অনুরোধ করব প্রফেসর মুশফিক ভাইকে স্টেজে আসার জন্য এবং দু একটা শব্দ আমাদেরকে বলুন।
Thank you, Shalu Bhai and Anil Bhai, for inviting me to this very special event. I'm very honored to be here. I'm not a poet. I'm a professor of finance. So all my life, I studied economics and finance, and now I'm teaching finance in the university. So you can see the contrast of the subject matter between these two. So what I'm trying to say, the more we can flourish in this area, the better that we can make our society. Thank you again for inviting me, and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Award-winning poet, BBC Slam champion poet, David Lee Morgan.
I feel I should start out by apologizing for the weather. I have a history of drawing terrible ecological disasters to my important performances. Just for example, when I did the London premiere of the poems in this book, it turned out to be the hottest year in the entire history of the UK ever. Every train station in London shut down, rail lines buckled. And that's just one of many examples. So I'm pretty sure that this terrible snowstorm that caused a lot of people not to be able to come is my fault. Have NHS waiting list, please God, and tells you when you can go and when you can't, and I have to stay here for an operation that I can't put off, so I can't go. But I'm really excited for the people that are going, and I hope to go next year. And happy Independence Month to Bangladesh, and power and love for the people of the world. Thank you.
Huge gratitude to David. Thank you very much. এখন মঞ্চে আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি বিবিসি জার্নালিস্ট and acclaimed translator আমার শ্রদ্ধেয় বড় ভাই কাজী জাওয়াদ।
Tell me one thing, who has the right of self-defense? People under occupation or the occupiers? ask this question to yourself. Who has the right of self-defense? I stand for the Palestinians, and I stand with those people, those Jews, who actually hates Zionism. Down with Zionism. I am a journalist, and like all other journalists, I am a jack of all trades, fragmented by their culture, by their habits, by their limited thoughts, that they cannot actually cross the border of different areas we can. Now in that trend of Bengali literature and Bengali poetry, there is all these things like feminism. It has changed. Feminism has came to it's actually first of all the rights of women, and they always, these female poets always try to describe themselves that we are tormented, we are oppressed, and we are not liked by, or males or men actually try to exploit us. Now I tell you one thing, I am not an anti-feminist person. Definitely, I am pro-feminist. I actually will, my wife will not agree, but I claim that I am a champion of women's rights. Last night, one of my friends, a female poet, I think you know her, poet Shami Maja. She has posted in her Facebook page that every woman is an untold story. I replied, is it? I didn't know. Can you please think that every man is also an untold story? This is the nature of the human being. We actually don't think about ourselves. Like when religion comes, I call myself that I am non-practicing Muslim. Why I became non-practicing? Because my dad told me one thing, that if you know yourself, you will know your God. Know thyself. And that is what I tried, and I have not got any answer yet. I was going to mention your 4 বছর পর story. That is again that we men and women, or division, or the fractionism, actually is a fragile thing. We do not think in the right way of thinking ourselves and thinking about the others. If we think about others as one of us, as a human being, or a human society, or a human group, then probably all this division and fractionism can go. But there are players. There are players like capitalism. There are players like international hegemonists. Those who don't allow us to think in that way, in the right way. In my view, the development or the trend of the literature or culture, it is always there. It will always remain, like Aldous Huxley said. The things change, but the substance remains. Thank you.
Thank you, Jalbhai. Now, I'd like to call British Indian poet and a powerful fictionist, my dear friend, birthday lady, Sri Ganguly.
and I really feel privileged to be here today. So many thoughts, so many poems, so many people, united by the beauty of art. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'll read a 10-minute long short story. Come on. Sorry, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's probably better for me. Yeah. It's called The Park. Just fragments of a poem remain. A word here, a sound there, somewhere. In her head, a tune trapped inside blood stains. Crumpled bits of paper, like feathers shed from the sky. As she walks back, away from the park, away from the podium, further and further away, a bubble floats around her in the darkness from somewhere, like a broken piece of cosmos, or another universe popping out of nothing. Did she imagine the dancer? Or was she really there? Invisible, from a distance, the dancing form is mingling with the earth. She can still hear the ankle bells. Ta, thin, thin, ta, thin, thin, ta, na. The sound remains inside her, faint, yet alive. The sound should remain. Thank you. Privileged to be here. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Sri. I'd like to call Professor George to say a few words, how we like it and how it's important for a workshop and conference.
Thank you very much for a fantastic organization today. I think it's really important to hear all of these diverse voices really sharing poetry which is so vibrant and so energetic. I think the rhythm and the musicality of the poems, but also the anger, the softness, the kindness, really capture what I think poetry does best, which is capturing real life. Such stories happen in our Tsipili Zoo, but neither humans nor animals can explain the unexplained happenings. Thank you very much. Keep writing. Keep enjoying
the good writer actually. So আমার ভালো লাগে ওনার কবিতাগুলো। শানুর ভাই একটা কবিতা শুনি আপনার।
Time is ticking. সময় চলে যাচ্ছে। আমার ঘুমন্ত গৃহে স্বপ্ন দুলালির অলৌকিক সোহাগ চাই। হে জগৎ স্বামী, দৃশ্যত এই বৈশ্বিক বিশ্বে আলো চাই। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে। এখন